What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. It's Money Shots Monday. We have the beautiful Kelly in Vegas. We have Chris Castellani, who's going to be helping us out with going over this home run derby. And I don't know about you two, but the home run derby has some not so great memories in my mind and in my heart. This was I would like to call it my hazing, if you will. My first real day at Barstool, I got to go and sit in the gambling cave and essentially literally get hazed for a solid 3 hours about how bad I suck and how I'm just a minty parasite and all of that. So Joey Gallo, this one's for you. Yankees, I'm sure y'all are super happy that he's up there with you guys.
Megan, I'm sure you're super happy. His career is just plummeted since that day. I don't know if that's some sort of karma for you or what, but I don't even know if I've heard that guy's name since last year's home run derby.
You haven't, because he sucked this year. Literally, if we are deducting pinstripes, we were talking about Garrett Cole earlier in the season, but he seemed to have found his stuff. But now it's Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo, his uniform should just be straight up white at this point. I'm over it.
They're going to trade him for nothing just to get rid of him at the deadline. Every Yankees fan can't stand him. That's all they talk about on New York sports radio. They're going to win 115 games, and every call is how terrible Joey Gallo is.
Well, and I understand that, and I don't agree with Yankees fans about an awful lot, but I do agree that Joey Gallo can kiss my ass, and I don't want to say this is what he deserves for losing the home run derby. It's a home run derby, and I probably shouldn't wish that upon anyone. However, I'm a really sore loser, and especially when I have about 8 dudes just chirping in my ear how bad I suck. Joey Gallo, that one should have been for you, but it wasn't. So let's move on to this year's home run derby. It's in Dodger Stadium. It starts at 8 Eastern tonight. And before we get into just solid matchups, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually parlay the matchups. So, for example, up first, round 1, you have Acuna versus Pete Alonso, which I don't know if y'all know this, but he's back-to-back home run derby winner. I think Frank did the math last year. Someone did that. Again, these are my statistics I like to pull out of my ass, which probably are not accurate. But I think they were saying that he's made more money in the home run derbies, winning home run derbies, than he has actually playing baseball. I don't know if that's actually true, but I believe someone did the math and it could be right there about close. But obviously he's the favorite to win this year as he has gone back to back. And he's up against Acuna Jr., who missed a majority of the season due to that ACL tear. But dude's still out there cranking bombs, and he's cranking powerful bombs. So what does that mean during the home run derby? You get that extra time if you get that extra length. In my opinion, I still think Pete Alonso takes round 1 against Acuna. He's flying in. His pitcher from Europe. He is who was he? He was a Braves bat. No, that's Acuna's. He was I'm sorry. I gotta figure out who he was for them. Oh, an old Mets bench coach. So supposedly he knows right where Alonso's sweet spot is. And they have a really, really good relationship. So I actually parlayed Alonso with Schwarber. So those two over Pujols and Acuna for some value there. But we'll go ahead and start with you, Chris. Break down round 1, and then we'll send it up to Kel. And also, God, if Pete Alonso wins this is his 3rd home run derby. He's catching up with Ken Griffey Jr., which is fucking insane to say about anything. So what do you think about this round 1 matchup? And then throw it up to Kel.
I'm very excited about today's show because there's a lot of nerd baseball stuff that I looked into to try to figure out who's going to win this thing. And there's one statistic that I looked into that I think is very important. I was looking at Baseball Savant, and it's max exit velocity. All right, for people who don't know, Baseball Savant has batted ball data for every hitter in baseball, and it's based on what percentile are you in these particular categories. Max exit velocity is an important stat because it means that when you're barreling up pitches, you're absolutely crushing them. You don't have to worry about chase rate. You don't have to worry about swing and miss stuff, walk rate. You're getting served meatballs all night. So you got to, you're going to be getting balls in your happy zone. You should be crushing them. Every Derby winner since they changed the format back in 2015, starting with Todd Frazier, has had a max exit velocity in the 86th percentile or above. There are 5 players of the 8 participating in this year's Derby that are at 86 or more. Now, 2 of them are going up against each other in the first round. That's Acuna and Pete Alonso. Now, that first matchup, Schwarber, Pujols. Pujols, obviously, the sentimental pick here, coming into his final year. One of the greatest hitters of all time. Probably won't, but approaching 700 home runs. I mean, I think 3-time MVP, first ballot Hall of Famer. Also, in terms of isolated power, one of the weakest hitters.
685 lifetime home runs. So, yeah, he's creeping up to 700 pretty quickly.
Crazy, yeah. But Schwarber, another one on that list with the 86 or above max exit velo. So I like Alonso. Just using kind of my cheat code. I like Schwarber, Soto, J-Rod, and Alonso into the semifinals. That's my pick.
All right. Well, we'll get further, and we're going round one.
Sorry.
I know you're getting excited, Chris, and I know we're gonna get there. First round, Acuna v. Alonso. You're gonna tip your cap to Alonso. I would assume as the two-time back-to-back winner. Kelly, what I know it's super hard to cap something like this, considering there's not a ton of data involved with who's pitching to them and how they feel and deciding if it's going to mess up their swing or whatever. What do you think about this matchup? And do you have any sharp information to give us?
I don't have a ton of sharp information, but I knew Chris was going to come heavy with the stats. So I'm coming heavy with the situations here, Megan. And you said it best. This is a very hard thing to cap. And that's why I was like, man, they kind of did Megan dirty. She had to come in for the home run derby. I just got to pick the NBA Finals game, and everybody loved the Suns, so I obviously was on the Bucks. And one of those type of scenarios where I'm like, why did Megan do that to herself? And I get it, and it's because Joey Gallo had a ton of value.
I also, again, I didn't do it to myself. I was asked what I was passionate about, and that week was the Poirier-McGregor fight, and I said I was passionate about Poirier. But obviously, tip of the cap to Robbie Fox, who is way more into UFC and MMA than I am and loves Conor McGregor. Definitely was his event, but that's what I was passionate about that week. But I was going to be in New York for the first time ever in my life and at the Barstool office, so I did not want to miss an opportunity to put myself out there.
But did you take the subway, though? Jackson and I have been going back and forth. If you guys don't know who Jackson is, that's our producer. He thinks that I'm a giant pussy because I won't take the subway. That being said, situationally, this is the best way to look at this. Alonso, I can't even talk now. Schwarber, obviously, are the odds-on favorites here for a reason. Both those guys so far this year have just smashed balls at Dodger Stadium. If you want to talk about Seager, he's also got some familiarity with the venue. Yeah. But you guys mentioned Pujols here. Now, he's the old guy, right? And being the old guy of this group, I'm going to say he's not dead yet. Now, I think this format isn't conducive for him to win at all, which is why he has the longest odds at the Barstool Sportsbook. But I kind of have to wonder as far as he goes first round, which we'll get to here in a minute. But I'm with Megan here. I do think Pete Alonso will advance past Acuna Jr. to the next round. No disrespect to Ronald Acuna Jr., but I haven't been that impressed with him for the little bit of baseball that I do watch. And in his career games at Dodger Stadium, he only has one home run, and that was in 2019. So not saying that he's not going to go out there and, as Chris said, hit a bunch of meatballs. I just think that this is Pete Alonso's derby to lose once again.
I would agree with that. And just to let everybody know who does want to bet this in the comments, if you want to bet matchups, you go to the Home Run Derby and then you go to upcoming and then you hit more bets. So right now you could bet Pete Alonso over Acuna minus 230 in round one. But as I said, you can parlay those. So personally, I took Pete Alonso and Schwarber. I parlayed them in their matchups and I have them minus 110 versus now Pete Alonso is minus 230 and I believe Schwarber is now minus 400. So I think that parlay has become a little bit more pricey. So if you're wanting to play that, I still think it probably you're going to get some decent value on it, but I think that's the smart way to play it personally. I wanted to ask y'all's opinion, speaking of the Schwarber Pujols round one matchup. What do y'all think? Because y'all both said narrative, sentimental. This is Pujols' fifth and last home run derby, most likely. Do you guys think that he actually deserves to be in this home run derby, or do you think this is more of just a sentimental fill-in spot? Do you think there could have been someone else to a better matchup, if you will? And look, this is completely out of respect. Pujols is absolutely amazing, as we said, creeping up to 700 home runs, but he only has 6 on the year. So my thing is, as you know, Chris as a baseball fan and Kelly as a bettor, I'll ask Chris first. Do you think that Pujols deserves this spot, or do you think it's a pity, not a pity play, but like a
sympathy pick? I mean, sentimental pick.
Yeah.
Look, if it actually meant something, I'd feel differently. But the home run derby, it's like the dunk contest in the NBA. Like, it's there, showmanship, it's fun. Obviously there is the gambling element to it, but for him, you put him into that last spot. It doesn't bother me. And honestly, so many guys turned him down. I mean, there's no Stanton, there's no Vladdy Jr. I mean, no Judge. A lot of the big power hitters said no. So, I mean, I think it's cool that he's there. And I respect the fact that he said yes. I think that it's neat. My guess is probably next year, Miguel Cabrera in his final year will probably be invited as well. So, no, I don't really have any issue for it, especially both for the home run derby and the All-Star game, because there's no longer any real stakes to it. It's a fun thing. It's an event. We're talking about one of the greatest hitters of all time. Yeah, put him in there.
There's a wild rabbit outside of my window.
I was wondering
wild rabbit, as opposed to a domesticated one. Did your neighbor lose its pet? Is that
no? It's straight up it's wild. I see it randomly, but it's always I always think that I'm gonna have really good gambling days when I see the rabbit. Which usually isn't the case.
I think our friend Trig has something like that with a weird hummingbird. He's like, oh, the hummingbird was here today. Hammer the Orioles. I'm like, you're an idiot.
I can't show you all the rabbit. I would have to turn it around and show you guys where I live, but I can take a picture of it and send it to Kelly so she knows that I'm not tripping out.
Can't. As far as my opinion on it, no. I think Chris nailed it. Listen, a couple other guys said no. Why not have him in this last year? I mean, Albert Pujols is one of the greatest power hitters that I think we've seen in a really long time. And as I mentioned in his matchup, I think that there's some value with him getting 3-1. And we've actually seen some sharp money come in on him because he was plus 320 before the show started. So somebody is loving themselves some Pujols at 3-1.
They are. And I really, really hope that he does super well and, does the best that he can. But I have money on Kyle Schwarber, and as a bettor, I need Alonso and Schwarber to go on to the next round. All right, up next in round 1, you have Corey Seager versus Julio Rodriguez. Rodriguez has 16 homers on the year. Corey Seager has 23. Obviously, Corey Seager, what? Am I wrong, Chris?
No, I did not know it was that many. Sorry.
Yeah. I know. I always want to double check with you, but
fine.
From my research, you have Rodriguez with 16. You have Seager with 23. Obviously, Seager knows Dodger Stadium pretty well. He played there, and not only this, but I was doing some light reading today. I love a little bit of sentiment, some narrative, if you will. Yeah. Corey Seager's having his dad pitch to him, and who knows where there's a sweet spot more than a dad that has pitched all of his life. These are baseball moments. I'm getting chills. Those are ones that I live for. Absolutely love it. Meanwhile, you have Julio Rodriguez, who has got a specialty painted bat that's teal and navy, and he's out there having simulated practices where he has hit 37 bombs in a simulated round. But
I think it's weird he's never played at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, and he seems so cocky for both of these being first-time players in the home run derby. Yeah. Seager hasn't taken any real he's in his own little bubble almost.
He's a quiet player. He's a very quiet. He's so good. He's an excellent hitter, but you don't hear. I feel like his name isn't thrown around very often when you talk about best hitters in baseball.
And then meanwhile you have this Julio Rodriguez fellow who, I mean, obviously but I feel like he might be walking into this thing with his dick a little too heavy. It's. You're going up against someone who's played in Dodger Stadium, someone who has more home runs than you do, and his father is pitching to him. Again, narrative with the dad thing, but I'm a sucker for sweet moments.
And yet Julio Rodriguez is the favorite in the matchup.
And I took Corey Seager as a straight bet. I believe plus 135. Now I got him plus 120. Might want to go hit that again. For whatever reason, Seager stuck out to me. I know that Chris, whenever he was talking earlier about his picks, he was talking about he liked Rodriguez. So I would love to hear your take on Rodriguez. He just, as I said, from what I read, he's got a specialty bat made. He's ready to go out there and swag out, and this is his first time. And I feel like you're going out there and you're going to be all swaggy with a 40-year-old Albert Pujols. I don't know, man. Like it just seems like it seems a little ballsy. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I mean, you said that he may come in with his dick a little bit too heavy. I mean, in fairness, heavy dicks do pretty well in the home run derby. I mean, I'm sure that'll be taken out of context, but when you look at like
Monday,
when you look at Bryce Harper and some of these guys, Pete Alonso, Vladdy Jr., who have a ton of swagger, ton of confidence, who have done really well in the past. Another statistic that I was kind of looking back at, since they changed the format, because that's changed everything, really, the new format that they implemented in 15. Rookies have done really well in this competition. Aaron Judge won it in 2017. Pete Alonso, as a rookie, won it in 2019. In that year as well, you had Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who was also a rookie, who finished second, who was shattering records the first two rounds of that particular derby. So I like J-Rod a lot. I think in 2 years, J-Rod's going to be one of the 10 best players in baseball. And he's on a team that is on fire right now. I mean, talk about a baseball team that wishes the first half didn't end. The Mariners won 14 in a row. I liked Seager a lot, and that's why I was surprised by the home run numbers, because when I think Corey Seager, I don't think crazy power hitter. I just think like he's 20, 25 bombs, 800 something OPS, like really good athlete, really good hitter, but obviously familiar with the park. That could make a difference. But yeah, I think that when you have a competition like this, you kind of get what you put into it. And I feel like the younger guys have a tendency to put a little bit more emphasis on it, which is why I like J-Rod to maybe sneak by on this one. But this is the toughest matchup for me to predict.
I would agree with that. Kelly, what do you think here?
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Listen, all signs point to Corey Seager to me, right?
At plus money, especially,
At
right?
plus money, though. And that is where it's like red lights are going off going, okay, you need to look at this just a little bit further. And the fact that Chris likes J-Rod on the other side tells me that my spidey senses, if you will, and saying this is a trap, it absolutely might be. As I mentioned, Seager definitely, he's played 310 games at Dodger Stadium. He's hit tons of bombs there. I just don't know what to make of J-Rod. And the fact that Chris, like I said, has mentioned that rookie success in the past, and he does lead Major League Baseball with 16 home runs this year for at least as far as the rookies go.
Yeah.
That kind of tells me that I think that J-Rod might be this play here, but this is probably a stay away for me, Megan.
That's fair.
Yeah. That one was the hardest one for me, but I just, as I said, I'm a sucker for a narrative, and I really am excited to see, especially like I'm getting goosebumps just today. If Corey Seager and his dad win the whole thing, like that father-son hug at the end, like I'm already about to tear up. Like,
and Bryce Harper won it with his dad pitching to him a few years ago.
Yeah.
I need to stop because I will cry. 100% will cry.
Corey Seager 11-1 currently. That'd be an exciting upset to see, Megan, for sure.
It would be an exciting upset, but I will say that I do have a winner, if you will, and it's only because Pete Alonso is way too, I would say, overpriced for me. I do think he could win this third one in a row. I think it's extremely plausible. He seems to just thrive in this element. But man, Juan Soto, plus 500 is going to be my pick. I mean, he snuck by Ohtani his last home run derby with just an absolute last minute bomb. And I think that he's just like in it to win it. And he's so hot right now. Obviously, he's like blowing off the Nats, being like, I don't want y'all. I don't need y'all. Like I tweeted the other day, the Yankees fans are what. Obviously, I'm not sure if Soto's going to the Yankees, but the Yankees can buy whoever they want. So, I mean, if they decide they want him and he says yes, I guess it's just consensual and they'll go fuck each other. I'm not real sure. But like both of y'all's faces. But yeah, so I like Juan Soto. He's got, they're both tied for homers on the year. 23. Yeah, wait, no, that's a lie. I don't know if I wrote down. They're both first appearance. They both Juan Soto. No, Jose Ramirez is his first appearance. I'm sorry. My notes got a little scratchy very much.
Yeah.
And I was trying to put on one piece of paper. But yeah, Jose Ramirez is his first appearance. He will have a father-esque figure pitching to him as well. A guy that's known him since he was 17. He's been, as I said, he found him. He believed in him. He's been working really hard. But again, I think Juan Soto, he's going to go out there and give it all that he has. I know that's very pun intended, very cliche, whatever, but I think that he has a really bad taste in his mouth right now. And when is the best time? What the best time to take that out is if you're a baseball player is with your bat to a ball. So I would not be surprised if Soto goes out there and just fucking rips bombs like every single time. And who does he have throwing to him? He has Mija, if I pronounced his last name. He's known him also since he was like 17. I think he's a pitching coach or a hitting coach. Again, I can't read my notes because it's very much at the bottom. But Juan Soto, I think, is just going to go out there, fucking smash balls. And I think he has the best value at plus 500.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a Pete's to lose. But Soto, I think, again, has the bad taste in his mouth. What do y'all think?
From a gambling standpoint, that's my pick as well. It's plus 500 now. It was 550 this morning. It's probably gone to 500. But with Soto, he's the hottest hitter coming into this. Last 11 games, he's got an OPS of almost 1,400, which is insane. He's hit 5 home runs in his last 11 games. But one thing, my other criteria outside of max exit velo that I look for is just storylines. When you look at who's won it since the format changed, Todd Frazier won it at his home ballpark. Aaron Judge won it his rookie year when he was like the biggest name in baseball. I mean, you could argue he still is. Bryce Harper won it at his home ballpark. Pete Alonso did it as a rookie. I think that storyline of rejecting the 15-year, $440 million offer and now potentially being on the trading block. Like, I know it's an exhibition essentially, but I do feel like he's kind of gunning for it. The possibility of upping that trade value and getting, a team potentially like the Dodgers to trade for him at the deadline. I think he's really going to be going for it. Not to take anything away from J-Ram, who I think is one of the best hitters in baseball and has 75 RBI at the deadline, or at the All-Star break, which is crazy. But I like Soto here a lot. He also has really great numbers at Dodger Stadium. Only 5 games in the regular season, though he homered off of Kershaw in the playoffs a few years ago as well. 961 OPS. So I'm going with him. And part of this, I just like him a lot. He's probably my favorite hitter to watch in baseball.
Plus 475 now at the Barstool Sportsbook. So
okay.
People are jumping on Soto to win it all. Kelly, what do you think of the matchup? And what do you think of Chris and I's value picks, if you will, on Soto to win the whole thing?
I have no opinion really on this matchup, Megan. I would agree with you guys. Soto looks like the favorite here for a reason. But since you guys have been talking, I haven't really been listening because I'm over here reading up on Julio Rodriguez because I think I'm going to bet him plus 775 at the Barstool Sportsbook. I mean, Chris nailed it in terms of rookies. We know he's one of the best young power hitters in baseball. And I understand that he has never played at Dodger Stadium, but this is just such a different type of event. And I don't know. I think him being on the same side of the bracket as Alonso, he's either going to lose to Alonso and it's over. But if he gets past Pete Alonso, man, I don't know. I'm not disagreeing with your guys'
He's got to get past Seager first. I need Seager and his dad to at least win one round.
I know, but they're underdogs, and that doesn't correlate to the futures odds very well. And that has me a little perplexed. But I think Chris sold me on J-Rod here, plus 775 at the Barstool Sportsbook, and that's going to be I was looking for some action, so I had a reason to watch tonight, and now I got some. So thanks, guys.
No problem. So I like Juan Soto to win the home run derby as far as value goes. Kelly's looking at J-Rod. Chris likes Soto as well, as far as value goes, to win the whole thing. Do not forget that you can parlay these matchups for better value. I don't know who wants to lay $4 on Schwarber during a home run derby. Not me. So that's why I parlayed him with Mr. Pete Alonso at minus 110. And it's probably like minus 132 now if I'm looking at the numbers because they both went up by like 20 cents a piece. So, yeah, y'all go do what you need to do. We gave y'all plenty of information. As I said, Corey Seager's a dog with his dad pitching to him. Do with that what you will. Chris, this will pretty much be our last hurrah, if you will, for the second time in about a minute, until we get back in to talk probably playoff baseball, looking more towards the big show whenever the Astros win it all. So we'll have you back on to talk about that, and then Kelly and I will be back Wednesday with Stephen Che, going to start getting that football blood boiling a little bit, starting to get y'all a feel for the old pigskin again, and then back 3 days a week starting August 1st. Monday, Thursday, Friday. That will just be complete prep shows of NFL and college football. First, I believe 6 shows college, NFL, last 6 college football. So you're going to get all your futures, your win totals, anything special that you like in the prop market. Che will give that to you. And then during the season, we're going to try to get Che on Thursdays so that he can help y'all and help us with the prop market, and also help y'all fill in those fantasy football what are those rosters? There we go. Can't even think of the name. So yeah, we're gonna have Che on. Kelly and I are gonna come back for football. Chris will come on occasionally, talk some Michigan and some Detroit Lions football with us. But thanks for having us, and y'all go bet the home run derby.